Hello everyone and welcome back to another devlog. In this devlog, I'm going to be adding a death screen and also finishing the tutorial. We'll start with the death screen. Currently when you die, all that happens is that a message pops up in the console. Let's start off with the player simply respawning. So the way this is going to work is that we're going to have several game objects. Each will correspond to a possible spawning location, and when the player respawns, a random game object will be chosen and the player will be spawned at that game object's location. This was pretty easy to get working, but it looks really unpolished, so I want to make the transition a little smoother. So in order to make the transition a little smoother, I'm going to have a dip to white, which was also quite easy to implement because of lean tween, and it definitely improves things a lot. Now I don't want the player to respawn immediately, so I added some delay after the dip to white before another dip to white happens, and then the player respawns. Now currently the camera is just stuck in place. To make it more interesting, I made it follow the player that killed you. Now the next thing I wanted to do was add some UI to go along with this, and while doing so I encountered a small bug in Unity. Basically, the text in the scene view is not aligned properly in the game view. This was quite easy to fix, however. I just had to unparent and then reparent the object. And with that, the death screen UI is finished, and subsequently the death screen itself. Now we can move on to finishing the tutorial, and the death screen was part of that, but it also applied to other aspects of the game. So the first thing I want to do is add an exit to the tutorial, and this will be the last functional thing I'm adding. So first I created the visual, which is just a sphere with some particles. And then I made it so that when you touch it, the screen dips to white and you get sent to the main menu. And then I applied the same dip to white whenever you enter or exit a level through any means. Now it's time to move on to properly lighting the tutorial level. Currently it's just lit by directional light, which is really weird because you're in a building and there's sunlight. So the first thing I did was delete this directional light. I also removed the skybox because you're never going to see it. And now the room is completely dark, just like a normal unlit room would be. So it's time to add some lights. First I modeled this very simple light model in Blender and then imported it into Unity and then gave it some glow using post-processing along with the point light. And then I put them all around the map and it looks alright, but it looks a lot better after we bake the lights. Now this isn't perfect because all objects that aren't static, in other words objects that move, aren't lit at all. Now Unity does have a way to fix this, and it's called light probes. Basically you have a bunch of points and those points store the baked light data for their location, and then all dynamic objects find the closest points and then read the light data from that and apply it to themselves. And this can get quite complex pretty fast, but at least it works. Now that we're done with the lighting, we're pretty much done with the tutorial. I did put some actual text inside of the signs. Of course this isn't going to be the final thing, but it works for now. Then I went to textures.com and found this tile texture, which I then applied to the tutorial walls, and it definitely looks a lot better than the Pro Builder prototyping material. But unfortunately that's all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next devlog.